I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the 4 transformative investments that have tripled my income. Here's number 1. You gotta invest in clarity and focus with a calendar. Say what, AO? I budget my time the way I budget my money. How many of us have missed out on a pay raise? How many of us have missed out on a deal simply because we couldn't deliver on time? I refuse to be that man that for 40 years of his life, he didn't study, he didn't grow, he didn't mature. And I find my wife and I tell her we have to go to the courthouse, not because we want to save money, but because I can't afford to do anything else. And so the very first step when it comes to building massive wealth and tripling your income, you gotta start with What's going on, family? It's your boy, Anthony ONeal. Welcome back to the table. And I'm super excited because today you're going to get 4 investment strategies that if you apply these, it can triple, not can, it will triple your income within the next 12 to 24 months. These are not get rich quick schemes. Let me say this right now, but these are, however, practical investment strategies that require commitment and patience. I want to start off today's show with a good fact, a good stat, if I may. Did you know that between 80 to 85% of net worth millionaires became such by adopting a lifestyle of living below their means? This strategy afforded them the financial margin necessary to allocate funds towards investments in areas like the stock market, real estate, and entrepreneur ventures. Listen, when we talk about margin, we're talking about their income is here, their debt payoffs is there, and in between, right? This is the margin. Now, in today's show, I will be sharing 4 investment strategies that tripled my income, spanning from financial methods to lifestyle adjustments that have significantly, and I mean this, like I'm just being honest with you all about my personal journey, they've significantly boosted my income, enabled substantial wealth accumulation for my future family. I keep saying my future family. Y'all pray for your boy, because still at 40, I'm single, but I'm extremely grateful. Now, before we dive into the 4 transformative investment strategies, I want to share a pivotal moment in my journey, an exciting announcement that I have been waiting to share with you all. You see, 5 years ago, during an interview with Success Magazine, a question was posed to me that shifted my entire perspective dramatically. You see, they inquired about the legacy I intended to build personally, distinguishing my contributions from those I had made in supporting other churches, organizations, corporations, and including the significant work I had the opportunity of doing with Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions. This inquiry sparked a period of introspection, I would say, leading me to realize how much of my focus had been on aiding the growth of organizations and individuals, often neglecting my own legacy and financial future. This realization was a catalyst, and I mean it's a catalyst for a profound shift in how I approached my personal table, aka my own life. 2 years later, marking 3 years to this month, I made the most difficult choice in my life to leave a remarkable and amazing organization that had a profound impact on my life. To this day, their outstanding contributions continue impacting millions of lives. Many have wondered why I took this step. And my reasoning has remained consistent over the past 4 years. You see, with Dave Ramsey's support and his amazing organization, I embarked on a mission to empower minority communities to overcome debt and build wealth. Now, throughout this journey, I've come to recognize a common issue. And if you recognize this issue for yourself and you see this as well, put it in the chat right now that you agree. You see, too many of us don't fully take charge of our own destiny, aka our lives. Instead, we let our employers, we let our debts, social circles, and societal pressures dictate how we live and move forward with our life. And this is hindering our path to wealth and fulfillment. You see, determined to change this narrative, I dedicated the last 3 years of my life developing a solution. And y'all, I want to share it with you right now. Take a look at this. The noise, it's distracting. It's pulling me away from my purpose. And I need to make a change. Enough is enough. The hardest part is taking the first step. But on the other side of fear is freedom. It's time to take your seat at not just the table, but the head of the table. You see, abundance, wellness, and freedom are within reach. Embrace your purpose. It's your table. It's your life. It's your time. Does the world ever get so loud that it's hard to even think? Your purpose is calling, but you can't seem to hear it through all the noise until right now. It's time to take your seat at the table. What's meant for you will never miss you. But first, it's time to step into your power, own your purpose, and reach your God-given potential. Let's go. For the past 3 years, I've dedicated myself to writing Take Your Seat at the Table, which is officially available for pre-sale today. You can go to anthonyoneal.com/book, or you can find the link to secure your copy in today's show notes. Listen, you guys, listen. Be real with you. This book is the blueprint to forging your life marked by authenticity, prosperity, wellness, and freedom. And to celebrate the launch of my brand new book, Take Your Seat at the Table, I'm thrilled to announce an unprecedented online event on August 22nd called a New Millionaire Masterclass. You see, during this masterclass, I'll be teaching you how to emulate millionaire investment strategies regardless of your current income. I don't care if you're making $50,000, $30,000, $15,000, or zero if you're watching this in class. This masterclass is going to show you how to invest like other net worth millionaires. Now, I'm gonna be real with you because this is my first time. This masterclass has limited seats and is offered at 100% free. So no cost to you, but spots are expected to fill quickly. So I need you to make sure that you register at millionaire.anthonyoneal.com for your free spot. Now listen, while I'm excited about my new book and this amazing masterclass I'm gonna be offering, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the 4 transformative investments that have tripled my income. Here's number 1. You gotta invest in clarity and focus with a calendar. Say what, AO? Wait. What you mean invest into clarity and focus with a calendar? Listen, watch this. You see, achieving financial success hinges critically on having clarity and focus. You see, a lack of clarity can cloud your vision, making it impossible to target your goals effectively. Listen, one of my thoughts, the process that I've always grown up on is the breeding ground from start to finish is communication and clarity in the beginning. Where there is no clarity in the beginning, that's when we have a confusing ending. When there's a confusing ending, there was no clarity. You see, a strategy that has drastically improved my ability to maintain both is the disciplined use of a calendar. By strategically scheduling my daily, and I mean this, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly tasks, I align my time management, watch this you guys, with my financial budgeting principles, AKA I budget my time the way I budget my money. You see, without proper management time, right? Or let me say it this way, without proper time management, maximizing wealth creation becomes an unattainable goal. If you cannot sit down and strategically map out your day, map out how you're going to maximize each minute, each hour, each day, how do you expect to get to your goal if you keep throwing it away? You know, I remember when I first started the Neatness Network, my approach to time management was ineffective. I'm just gonna be real. It was ineffective. Each morning began with a mental list of tasks, yet I failed to formalize these plans because leading up to things, I was unproductive. I wouldn't write them down. I wouldn't deliver my obligations on time. And it was a crucial conversation with my mother that reshaped my perspective. She reminded me that I am good with my money, but highlighted a gap in my time utilization. Her advice was clear. It was direct. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. Said, Anthony, I need you to start making out your days on a calendar. If you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you work out, from 5 to 6, I'm going to work out. From 6 to 7, I'm going to eat breakfast. From 7 to 8, I'm going to get ready for my work day. Hey, from 8:30 to 9, I got to drive into the office. She said, I need you to really list out your time. Put when you're going to study. Pick when you're going to pick up your kids if you have kids. You see, recognizing the wisdom in her words, I began to allocate my hours, days, and weeks systematically. This shift not only enhanced my stewardship of time, but also empowered me to significantly elevate the productivity and growth of the Neatness Network. You know, when I think about time and time management, I'm also fully aware that not everyone has time. And I want to take a quick minute to thank the sponsors of today's show, Ethos. Ethos has partnered with me over the last 2 years to help people prepare for when life happens, because not all of us are promised tomorrow. Not all of us are promised next week. And one of the greatest investments we can ever make is into term life insurance. Term life insurance ensures that when our time is up, our families are taken care of. As a matter of fact, check them out right quick. Recently, I've completed my full estate plan, and it's been an emotional journey, if I'm going to be honest with you. But now I have a peace of mind knowing that my family and loved ones are well taken care of. But here's something you may not know that I think you need to know. According to a recent study, nearly 60% of African American adults have life insurance. Now, wait a minute. Many of these policies may not provide sufficient coverage to fully protect their families in case of unexpected deaths. This lack of adequate coverage is a pressing issue among the Black community. It can lead to financial difficulties and potentially hinder the building of generational wealth. In today's time, it's more important than ever for African Americans to give priority to life insurance and estate planning. You see, by doing so, you can ensure that your loved ones are secure in the event of your passing. This covers funeral and burial costs, clears all debts and mortgages, and provides a financial cushion to help them continue building wealth, long-lasting wealth. Don't leave your family's financial future to chance. I want you to secure life insurance today. I want you to get a free life insurance quote through my friends at Ethos. All you gotta do is go to anthonyoneal.com/life insurance. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/life insurance for your free quote, or click the link in today's show notes. Protect your family's future and attain a peace of mind. Act right now, and let's get back to today's show. So listen, I know that as we're talking about managing our time and implementing structured time things, right? We have to think about our families, because none of us know the time nor place of when God is going to call us home. So if you don't have term life insurance, if you don't have an estate plan, please hear me clearly, please visit Ethos. So when it comes to implementing time, implementing a structured calendar brings several advantages and essential for both personal and professional and financial growth. I want to give you a couple of reasons why this is super important. You see, it elevates efficiency by streamlining your task. Number two, it enhances time management, ensuring important deadlines are met. How many of us have missed out on a pay raise? How many of us have missed out on a deal simply because we couldn't deliver on time? You see, number three, it promotes a healthier work-life balance, allowing for time allocated to relax and to enjoy hobbies. I took time off in the month of July to rest, to get my brain ready for this next season, for the second part of the year. And I was able to do that because for the first part of the year, from January to June, we time managed here at the Neatness Network. Before we left, we had a lot of our work done for the book launch because we was able to write things down and put it on the schedule and not miss out on a lot of money. You see, number four, it facilitates goal tracking and keeping your ambitions right in front of you, simply in clear sight. You see, to effectively integrate this system into your routine, I want you to consider these steps that I personally have done. Number one, I want you to set an appropriate calendar that suits your needs. Just like me, and I think with a lot of other people, start with perhaps the accessible option on your smartphone. I have an iPhone and I use the calendar on my iPhone, and I also have Microsoft 365 on there where it has my email and my calendar as well. So I'm able to see my calendar every single day. And watch this, y'all. I sync my calendar with the calendar on my refrigerator. So that way, when I wake up in the morning, if I'm not near my phone, I can look at my calendar on my computer, on my phone, and on my refrigerator. Which leads me to number two. I want you to commit to regularly using it, making it an essential part of your everyday process. If you got to drop your kids off, put that down there. If you got to drive to work, put that down there. You're going to take some time for lunch, put that down there. If you're going on a date, if you're getting hair, I want you to spend your time on paper so you can clearly see what you're doing and how you're maximizing your time. And I think when you do that and commit to regularly using that, you'll see where you're wasting your time and how you can replace that with time that brings you money. And watch this, this is what you're going to learn. That you're going to learn that I am exchanging my time for money. And you're going to realize how to then start exchanging your money for more of your time back. Which leads me to number three. I need you to allow for flexibility. You see, unforeseen circumstances will require adjustments similar to budgetary changes, right? And so I have a little bit of free time in every single day that I can adjust. I can move around, right? Because I want to be flexible. And here's something I really love, right? And it really, really, really helps me out. And it's the last thing when it comes to really managing your time well. I want you to utilize color coding and categorization for easy visibility of different activities. For example, I'll color code my speaking engagements in green because I know that's me making money. And I'll also color code when times I'm just going to be studying in blue. You see, this offers a visual overview of how my day or week is structured. If I see a bunch of green, I'm making a lot of money. If I see a bunch of blue, I'm studying. I have a brown color for that's personal family time. I have red, that's my golfing time, right? And so when you can literally spend time, watch this now, when you can spend time and invest in clarity and focus with a calendar, you are going to see a massive increase in your income. Watch this, because now you're maximizing your time well. Listen, the millionaire that is a net worth millionaire today has the same 24 hours as you. What's the difference? We are maximizing using our time a little bit more effectively rather than wasting it. And so the very first step when it comes to building massive wealth and tripling your income, you got to start with your time. Which leads me on to number 2, when it comes to tripling your income. You got to upgrade your investing strategy through online courses, education, knowledge, wisdom. You see, the investment landscape is consistently evolving over time. And without diligent studying and expert advice, the chance to enhance your financial status might slip away. This is why on August 22nd, I'll be hosting the New Millionaires Masterclass at no cost to you. I remember back in 22 alone, Go Banking reported that embracing new knowledge and committing to the journey enabled over 2.2 million individuals like you and I to reach the net worth millionaire status. And this is why I want you to seize the chance to join them by signing up for the New Millionaire Masterclass happening on August 22nd by going to millionaire.anthonyoneal.com. You should see that on the lower third here, or just check it out in the show notes. If I'm going to be honest with you, growing up, financial wisdom, especially about investment, was absent in my family's guidance. The roadmap given was traditional, like many of us. Right? Pursue a higher education, secure employment, contribute to Social Security and a 401k, then retire after 4 decades and assuming stability follows. This advice, however, omitted the blueprint for substantial wealth creation. You see, discovering the book Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey and enrolling in Financial Peace University revolutionized my personal financial understanding. You see, I was able to get lessons that I wish I had been, or I wish, proper way of saying this, I wish I had when I was younger. You see, participating in FPU and various online workshops provided me with invaluable resources. And I want to give you some of these resources now that it gave me. Number one, it gave me direct insights and strategies from experts like Dave Ramsey and his amazing personality team. So number one, it gave me direct insights and strategies from experts like Dave Ramsey. Number 2, an organized and a coherent curriculum. There's a lot of courses online. There's a lot of webinars online that have some solid curriculum that is good for you to learn. And if you get bored easy, if you're looking for a structured outline, man, there's so many out there that can help you out. Here's number 3, flexibility to learn at your own pace. Accommodating your schedule and beyond regular work hours. So when I would get off of work, I never forget, I was working at a collection company in Jacksonville, Florida. And the church that was teaching Financial Peace University, I would go to work, get off at 5, come home, I would shower, I would eat a little something, then I'd be at the church by 7 o'clock. I lived off of Bay Meadows Road, and the church was like maybe 7 minutes away from me. And I would go over to that church and I would jump into that class. Then I would come back home, do a little bit more learning, then I would go to bed and start the day over again. That class actually became online. So I was able to do it at my own speed, at my own pace, and get the information that I need. Here's the next thing that it did. Engage in online sessions that prompted interaction and practical learning. It gave me a way to where I could regurgitate this stuff and eat this stuff and keep it. Now, many of these educational opportunities were free or offered at a very minimal cost. Investing $199 in FPU has proven to be an astute decision considering the financial status of where I am today. And with all the information and the wisdom that I have today, that $199 was cheap because of my net worth status today. Now, watch this. In this current landscape of 2024, in this modern day time, it's vital to approach online education with caution to avoid misleading courses. A reality that deeply concerns me, and to be quite frank with you, pisses me off, that we have a lot of people trying to manipulate people, lie to people, and mislead people simply to get your money but not give you any value. I have no problem with exchanging financial resources, right, to gain value, wisdom, and knowledge. But I want to give you some practical steps to make sure that you're not getting misled or robbed. Number one, you got to diligently, and I mean this diligently, more my grammar's off today. You got to diligently evaluate and choose reputable courses from reputable experts and people in that space. All right. Number two, you got to clearly define your objectives. Number three, you got to participate fully and actively. Do not spend money on a course or on a program, or do not go to a webinar and not actively and fully participate in all the assignments. And also, too, I want you to connect and collaborate with fellow learners. You see, what I've learned is if you can go into a situation, go into a course, or get into the course and connect with people who are also in there as well, and leave as friends, that means you all are on the same page and you have the same desire. Those are the best friends to connect with because they'll hold you accountable. And this is the last thing. When you connect with those people, all of you all will commit to ongoing education. Because I don't know about you, when I learn something, right? When I really learn something, I dial in. I come back and I'm like, yo, wait a minute, I want to learn more. I remember when I first learned about investing, I was like, okay, wait, I want to go a little bit deeper. Talk to me more about, single stocks. Talk to me more about day trading. Talk to me more about swing trading. Talk to me more about the top 500 companies, what's making them move, what's making them tick. Man, I remember going to New York just to sit in the trading area because I want to see how it's working, what's going on. It's like, if you can commit to ongoing education, you are going to grow your mind. When you grow your mind, you're going to grow and triple your income. So I want to say this again. The first two things is, number one, you got to fix how you're managing your time. Number two, you got to commit to continuing to educate and to grow and to evolve in the area of your mind. Because before we go into number three, don't forget, I've taught this and I've been teaching this, to mind your business, because your mind is a business. If you're not growing this, if you're not continuing to get the education, if you're not committed to getting the wisdom online via course, via a webinar, via school, whatever that is, you will not triple your income. Because if this is not growing, this won't even grow. It won't even maintain, it will die. Which leads me to number three. The number three strategy on how to triple your income in the next 12 to 24 months. You got to cultivate a wealth mindset by reading and listening to podcasts. You see, witnessing my parents navigate life, living paycheck to paycheck, ingrained in me a mindset more focused on surviving rather than actually thriving. This survival mindset, although common, I would say, is not what I envisioned for us here in the E3 community. It's crucial to challenge and transform our financial perceptions and habits. Engaging with enlightening books and podcasts is a step towards cultivating a healthier and wealthier mindset, all right? So every single month, I make sure to read at least one book and listen to a podcast every single day. You won't believe how much I've picked up just from investing in these two things. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, if I'm going to be completely honest and completely vulnerable with you, reading isn't my favorite thing to do. But let me tell you what's also not my favorite thing to do. Living paycheck to paycheck. Not having a savings account. not being able to leave my kids with a legacy, not being able to drive the car I want to drive, and not being able to live the life that I want to live. So it's either, do I want to read? Reading helps my grammar. Reading gives me information. And the more information I get, the more resources and tools I then now have in my repertoire to help build wealth. Listen, while I don't like reading, I hate not thriving even more. And you see, nowadays, there's so much information out there that we really can't say we don't know how to do something. Because if we say we don't know how to do something, that pretty much means we didn't even try to find the information. When I began to focus more on, I would say, reading and tuning into podcasts, my perspective shifted from just getting by to aiming for wealth. This change opened up a wealth of knowledge for me, leading to smarter financial choices with great outcomes. And I mean great compound interest outcomes. More than that, it drove me to keep on learning, aiming to improve my financial footing way beyond what my parents and or what my friends have been able to manage themselves. And it's allowed me to lay a solid financial foundation down for my future family. I refuse to be that man that for 40 years of his life, he didn't study, he didn't grow, he didn't mature. And I find my wife and I tell her we have to go to the courthouse, not because we want to save money, but because I can't afford to do anything else. And Mom, Dad, I love you. Y'all are older and wiser and more mature today, but I refuse to get married like my mom and my dad. They went to the south of the border. And the south of the border is in between North Carolina and South Carolina. Why? Because they couldn't afford a wedding. I refuse for that to be me. That's why I'm always reading. That's why I'm always listening to a podcast. That's why I get my behind off of the shade room. That's why I don't watch this reality TV foolishness, because what is it doing to help me triple my income? That's going to help me impact my family's life and this culture's life. If this is not growing, our money is not growing. But if this is being entertained, yeah, our flesh is growing, our laughter is growing, but our money is not. So I want to give you a couple of tips, just a couple of tips on how to invest into reading and podcasting and listening to podcasts. Number one, you got to pick books that fit your life in the season that you're in right now. Prime example. If you're in a season in your life to where you feel like everyone else controls your life, if you're in this season of you feel like, man, I can't do what I want to do. Man, I can't even go see my kids' game because I have a job. I have to go to this job, not because I like it, because I need the paycheck. If you're in this season of, I want to take control of my life, I'm ready to have the freedom that I desire, you have to get my book, Take Your Seat at the Table. Because I'm literally walking you through the step-by-step process on how to do that. And if you pre-order the book today, I'm going to give you so many different resources, right? But today I'm going to give you the intro and chapter 1. And chapter 1 will bless your life for 100% free. So in this season, you gotta pick books and you gotta pick podcasts that fit where you are in the journey of your life. Because how we manage this season determines how quicker we get to the next season. What we get in this season determines how we get to the next season. And the reason why some of us are sitting in the season that we're sitting in now, living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, not getting the pay raises that we need, not feeling the fulfillment of our life, is because God is saying, I need you to get something here first. Because the next season, I can't afford for you to be thinking and processing the way that you're thinking and processing today. Which leads me into the second tip when it comes to how to really invest into podcasts and booking is you got to make reading and listening to podcasts consistent in your life. AKA, meaning I want you to make a schedule that's easy for you to follow. Mothers, you have a schedule every day with your children, and it's easy for you to follow. Brothers, we have a schedule, at least the majority of us have a schedule when it comes to our health, when it comes to working out. It's easy to follow. I need you to set aside at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes every single day, whether that's you driving to work and you're listening to an audiobook, you're driving to work and you're listening to a podcast. Instead of you turning on the hip hop station, learning all the greatest lyrics and putting those lyrics in your head. I'm not knocking music because I love music myself. But why not for 15, 30 minutes? Some of us got a 30-minute to an hour commute to work anyways. Why not listen to a podcast? Well, my children are in the car and I don't want them to get bored. Man, please. More is caught than it is taught. If your kids hear you listening to a book and hear you listening to a podcast, they're going to catch that information. And instead of for them regurgitating and repeating, crump that, drop that, booty, do this, do that, they're going to repeating IRAs. They're going to be repeating emergency funds. They're going to be repeating love thy neighbor. They're going to be repeating something positive rather than something negative. Yes, I said it. This is the table and I'm back. I was sitting down with a kid and he cussed. His mom and dad was shocked and upset with him. And when they put the kid, they sent the kid to the room and I said, well, why are y'all upset with him? Well, he knows that's a bad word, but how he know that if that's all that he's listening to in the car? You want your kids to grow, to evolve, to mature? Give it to them. Let them see you listening. Let them ask you, Mom, what does IRA mean? Mom, what does investing mean? Mom, what does building wealth mean? What do you mean, son? Well, I heard it in the car. Now we're having a different conversation that our families need. Here's number three. I want you to write down key points on your phone and or notebook and think about them throughout the week. As you're listening to podcasts, as you're reading my book, as you're reading other people's book and listening to other people's podcasts, anything that they say that stands out, man, write that thing down or take a note on that and think about it throughout the next, week. Ask yourself, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Write that down and have a conversation with your spouse or your significant other or your lover and say, I was listening to this podcast. I was reading this book and it had this one line and I want to talk about this. How do you feel about this? You see, when we can write down key points on our phones, now we'll wake up and we'll have all these key points that are transforming our lives. And now it's ingrained in our heads, and now it's helping us get to our goals faster. Which leads me to this next one when it comes to the tips. Get together with others who like a good read and talk about it, AKA join a book club. We're going to be joining a book club. As a matter of fact, put it in the comment section right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you would honestly enjoy having a book club here at the Neatness Network. And if we have a book club, it's going to be all about money and our spiritual walk. Because I think right now I just feel this urge that it's really time for me to step up and give you all the tools and the resources and the materials that's going to help change your financial tree. And boy, do I have some things coming this fall that is going to transform your lives. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be starting a book club and a wealth club specifically just for men. Because how can we grow wealth if men are not leading in that area? I'm not saying women shouldn't be making money. Women shouldn't be successful. No, I'm with that. But the man needs to be successful as well. Which leads me to the very last tip. That as you're reading, as you're learning, and as you're growing, and when something lands with you well, this is the biggest thing to remember when it comes to investing into reading and listening to podcasts. You got to use what you learn until you see it doesn't work. What do you mean by that, Anthony? Use what you learned. Try what you learned. Because some of us will exit out. I'm not doing that. It won't work without even seeing if it did work. Man, if I'm being honest, I thought Financial Peace University for me as a black man would not work because of the obstacles that I had to go through as a black man. But the Holy Spirit told me, boy, shut the heck up. Because the Bible is for black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, you name it. Are there different nuances and different things that you and the African American community has to go through? Yes. But the same God that made that white man, the same God that made that Hispanic man is the same God who made you. And the Bible applies to everybody. So biblically based financial wisdom is not just for one particular race of color. So when I started applying the teachings, I started seeing the fruit of me implementing what I learned. And the reason why some of you do not have fruit in your life is because you got the wisdom, but you're thinking it won't work for you because you're a woman, because you're a man, because you're black, because of your excuse. And the greatest enemy to our success is our own excuse. And so I refuse to be the reason why I'm not successful. Because if an expert, if someone like a Dave Ramsey, if someone like a Bishop T.D. Jakes, if someone like a Darius Daniels, if someone like a President Barack Obama says, hey, this works, I'm going to try it. And what do I have to lose? I tried. Because if I would not have tried it, it would not have worked. But if I try it and it works, I've gained. And if I try it and it doesn't work, I've gained more knowledge. Now, there's so many different ways of how you can triple your income. And I've given you 3, and this 4th one is going to sound a little interesting, but I promise you, this 4th one is just as important as the other 3. And that's investing into a hobby. Yeah. Yes. Did you know that 70% of millionaires with substantial net worth consider a balanced lifestyle crucial for wealth accumulation? Studies have shown that such individuals emphasize the importance of investing into hobbies to maintain their peace of mind. Sharing a personal revelation. I recall an interaction years ago. I mean, this is years ago at a gathering with very wealthy individuals. I'm gonna be real with you, a bunch of wealthy white men. At that time, they had offered me to come out there and play golf, and I declined to play golf because I didn't know how to. And at the time as well, it's like, hey man, just come out here and just drive our golf cart. And I said, no, listen, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm a black man driving a white man's golf cart and never getting out. That sounds a little bit like a yes sir to me. So I declined that as well. I later realized, though, the significance of that moment. Be real with you. While the wealthy engaged in golf, I secluded myself out of both the potential of knowledge by surrounding myself with those people and actually enjoyment. And so what I did is I said, man, I'm never going to pass up on that opportunity again. And y'all, I fell in love with golf. I adopted the golf strategy, the golf hobby. And not only did the game of golf teach me patience and the value of consistency, which is crucial to mastering the sport and also mastering wealth building. But it also facilitated valuable connections with individuals who would invest into my business and my personal brand. You see, the game of golf, a lot of us think, if I can hit the ball hard and faster, it would go further. Because it makes sense, right? If you have this ball here, you need to hit it 500 yards. The faster you can hit it and the hardest you can hit it, the ball should go further. When in all actuality, there is a sweet spot on the club head. That if you can hit that sweet spot on that club head, dead center of the club head, at the right time, the ball will go where it needs to go. But men, we think if I can just use all of my muscle and boom, hit it, and let's say the ball hits on this part of the club, not the sweet spot, we can see it go far, but did it go to its true potential? No. And the game of golf taught me, the hobby taught me patience and consistency. And I was able to triple my income because I got patient with the game of finances. And I became consistent with investing into my 401k, investing into my mutual funds, investing into my IRAs, investing into my HSAs. I became consistent and I was patient with compound interest. And now my money makes money because I'm hitting it in the sweet spot. Ooh, I'm teaching good. You see, through my journey, I've discovered that embracing a hobby has enriched my life by 4 major things as I'm ending this show. 1, it significantly reduced stress and enhanced my mental health. Now, when I have this hobby, I play every Friday morning if I can. It resets my mind and I'm able to step away from work and focus and have fun. And it makes me slow down and respect patience and consistency because I have to hit the swing the same time every time I go to hit the ball. And every time I go and I hit that ball fast and I see it didn't hit the sweet spot, it didn't go where it was, it reminds me, just like in life, it's not about your strength, it's about the club. Use the tools God has given you. You see, golf, number 2, has cultivated skills that seamlessly integrate into my entrepreneur endeavors. I didn't have patience. If I wasn't getting what I wanted from my team, I probably would have cussed them all out. But because I had this hobby and this hobby was fun, it taught me life skills that transferred into my entrepreneurial. The reason why some of you all do not and have not experienced wealth is because you haven't picked up a hobby that you spent time in learning and enjoying it, and then those skills transferring over into that. You don't have any fun. Everything is about money. Everything is about, I gotta work, I gotta get this bag, get this money. No, you need to take care of your mind and just have some relaxing fun. This is why when I go out to the golf course, man, I love partnering up with other people. You know why? Because I want to get to know them. What are you doing? If you're playing golf, this is not a cheap sport. Who are you? Why are you here? Why I'm about to whoop your behind on this golf course. I still want to know, bro, how can we build? How can we serve each other? I've met millionaires. I've golfed with one billionaire. I've golfed with several people who are making several 6 figures a year. I've golfed with people who have given me insights I was able to bring back to my company that helped me make another $100,000, $200,000. Which leads me to the last thing, the benefit of having a hobby. It offers financial opportunities previously unexplored. When you can learn to make these 4 investments into yourself, not only will they triple your income in the next 24 months, but it's going to change your mental perspective on life. And you're going to make the most money you've ever made. And watch this. You're going to go from you've made the most money you ever made to your money has made you more money than you've ever personally made. Let's think about that. Bill Gates' money makes more money than he has ever made himself. Why? Because he made these investments into himself. When he tripled his income, he didn't change his lifestyle. He left that margin and allowed that margin in between his income and his expenses to now invest and to grow and to grow and to grow and to grow and to grow. And I don't know about you, but that's exactly what I desire and what I want for my life. So listen, I'm going to put the New Millionaire Masterclass registration information inside of today's show notes. I want you to go and register for free. If you are ready to take control of your life, I want you to get my book, Take Your Seat at the Table. You pre-order today, I'm going to be giving you $2,000 worth of free bonuses starting today. Starting today, you're going to get the intro in chapter 1. You're going to get this masterclass 100% free. And watch this. Actually, I can't tell you, but I got something major coming at the end of this month that you can get for free just for pre-ordering my book. And it's going to change your financial tree. Listen, my name is Anthony ONeal. I want to thank again our sponsor of today's show, Ethos, my friends over at Term Life Insurance Policies and Giving Families Term Life Insurance Policies for sponsoring today's show. Hey, I'll see you on the next show. And I pray I'll see you on the 22nd. God bless you.